it's Tracey HD here, and I want to thank you for joining me for our March 2015 monthly tarot reading. And this is going to be for the sign of Libra. As I shuffle the deck, I'm asking all light beings, God, and angels deliver the message to me so I may relay that to our viewers for the highest good of all. Okay, and take a card from the top for the beginning of the month. Shuffle them again. Ooh. Take a card from the middle for the middle of the month. And we take a top card from the bottom for the end of the month. Okay, and we have 3 cards in reverse. 3 in reverse. Okay, what does this mean, Libra? Okay, we start out the month of March being actually, you know what? This isn't in reverse. He's really hanging upside down. These 2 really are in reverse. So we start out the month with an upright card called the Hangman. And the Hangman in the beginning of the month is a gentleman hanging from his toes. You would think that, you know, he's in pain. He doesn't look very much in pain. This guy here kind of looks like he's just hanging out. He's just taking a pause. You know, although I wouldn't want to hang from my feet to, you know, take a time out. I'd rather just sit down, maybe put my head down, maybe lay down. But this gentleman here has no problem with being suspended from his leg, okay? And he has his hands behind his back, and he has this contemplation type of look on his face. And basically what this is this is a time of indecision, okay? Basically what it is what you're going through right now, you have no control over. You have to accept the situation for what it is, okay? Not saying that you accept it even though it was something wrong or bad, that you're saying it's okay when you accept it. No, you basically have to accept the fact that it is what it is, okay? And instead of clinging to it and wanting it to be different, which could be your old way of thinking, you got to change your way of thinking in order to find freedom within inside yourself, you know, and not fight things. Because when you fight things, you struggle. When you accept them, your life is going to flow more easily. And I'm not saying, like I said, to just be a doormat and accept whatever happens to you. No, that's not it at all. I'm just saying that accept the fact that maybe you've done all you can do. There's nothing else you could do but surrender and just let it unfold as it may. Okay? And during this time, you're going to feel that, you know, you did your best. I mean, there's nothing else you could do. There's no other action you could take in the beginning of this month. Okay, Libra? So sit tight. You could think about it, but like you said, you know, there's nothing else you can do. Right now, it's a time of non-action. Okay? You're just literally being suspended in midair here. Okay? You got to let go and try to find acceptance however you can in the situation, because there's no more that you could do about it. You do not have control over it. Leave it go. Put it on the back burner. And like I said, the very moment that you need an answer, you need something out of it, it will happen on its own. Okay? So non-action right now is the best action at the beginning of the month with the situation that we can't seem to do anything about. In the middle of the month, we have the Judgment card. Okay, and this Judgment card is a card that has women sitting in a coffin. As you can see, it's in reverse, and there are angels above. Okay, and the Judgment card, when you get this Judgment card in reverse, okay, it indicates a lack of atonement for one's sins and negative karma. So basically, one will only be absolved if they repent, you know, for their sins, of course, and, you know, if you ask for forgiveness. So if you had anything to do with the situation here where you feel like you can't do anything, what's done is done, okay, and you feel like you're responsible for being put in this situation, that maybe you had your hands in it, the best thing for you to do over here, like in the middle of the month, is to try to seek forgiveness. Because I have a feeling it might be something that you did that you didn't realize was going to turn out the way it did, and you didn't mean to hurt someone or didn't mean to treat someone badly. But in this card here, you don't want the negative karma coming back to you for whatever it was. So this card's telling you in the middle of the month, you really should ask for some forgiveness. So I have a feeling that this is something that might not have been intentionally done by you. The only way to free yourself of the guilt, since you don't know what to do to make it better, okay, and you can't seem to undo what was done, over here in the middle of the month, we're asking to ask for forgiveness. The cards are asking you to ask for forgiveness. So at this point, even though you can't change it, you can't go back, I'm sure if you could go back and change it, you would. The best thing right now you could do is to ask for the forgiveness of whatever took place that you may or may not have had your hand in. And then at the end of the month, we have an upside down reversed card, and it is the 10 of Wands. And when I look at the 10 of Wands, it's, like I said, it's in reverse. And the 10 of Wands normally, would be someone who is feeling, burdened, overloaded, feeling like they're struggling all the time. This 10 of Wands here, okay, being reversed, is not being overburdened. It's not being overwhelmed. It's actually lightening your load, and releasing some of the pressure that you've been under. And that very well could come about at the end of the month, because we took the advice of the middle card where we asked for forgiveness. We didn't act like we didn't do anything wrong and we're not going to apologize and we were all arrogant and egotistical. No, in the middle of the month, we asked for forgiveness. We repented for whatever we did. Like I said, whether it be intentional or unintentional, just by asking for the forgiveness, admitting you had responsibility in whatever it was, like I said, whether intentional or not, in the end of the month, you're going to feel a release of pressure. You're going to feel like a lightening of your load. Your heart isn't going to be as heavy, okay? Because basically at this point, you did what you rightfully felt you should do in the middle of the month. You asked for forgiveness, you repented, you admitted whatever took place in the beginning of the month, you were wrong, okay? And, even if it wasn't something, like I said, that you intentionally set out to do, okay? Even if there was a misunderstanding and the other person thought that you did something to be spiteful or intentional, apologize to them in a way that, I'm sorry that, I did this, or you felt that I did this. I've never had the intention of hurting you. I never wanted to come across that way. Because if you say, no, that's not how it was. Okay? It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. If you approach the situation in a loving manner, ask for forgiveness for something you think you may or may not have done, just the sake of asking for forgiveness is going to make the situation be more positive than continuing to burden yourself with the negative aspects or denying that, you had any responsibility. The last card is saying that you're going to have a lighter load. Your heart is going to be lighter because you asked for the forgiveness and you've tried to turn a negative situation into something positive and that you're moving forward. And if this person forgives you, that's great. If they don't, still don't build resentment because you didn't get what you wanted. Everybody wants to hear, oh, no, that's okay, I forgive you. The person may be resentful. The person may still be very well hurt and wounded, thinking it was something you intentionally did. And there may be no way of convincing them that that was not your intention. Just know that in your heart, you said you were sorry, you repented for whatever it was, you asked for forgiveness, and that's the best you can do. And then you move on. You did your part. So we might not be able to undo what happened in the beginning of the month, but we could show some kindness, try to make the best of the situation, and again, forgiveness. If you've enjoyed this reading, please subscribe to my channel because I'll be back with many more.